Hi there, welcome to Jay's Toy Collection UK, and today we build the ultimate Power Rangers display. Yes, welcome back to Jay's Toy Collection UK, and as you can see, I have had a delivery. So Super 7 Power Rangers Ultimates Wave 3 has arrived, and today we are going to be using them to build, as I said, the ultimate Power Rangers display. So if you are new here, please, of course, do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to leave a comment, and of course, tickle that like button so you can see the 5 figures in the wave here. We will get an overview of them. I'll take a look at them individually. We will do some comparisons to the figures I still have from the Lightning collection. And then we will go up here in the toy room to this newly prepared, fresh, double deep shelf, ladies and gentlemen, that will become the Power Rangers display. So I do have all the figures from waves 1, 2, and 3. So hopefully it's going to look quite good, because I've waited, over 2 years, I think, since I sold most of my Hasbro Lightning collection to start this collection. So let's hope the wait was worth it. And from the looks of that Megazord, might be in for a treat. Right, we'll start with a closer look at Finster then in his packaging. So you can see here close up of all his accessories then. Lots of little putty people. Of course, Finster does all the sculpting for Rita Repulsa. You've got a pudgy pig in there, I do believe. A version of King Spinks and some putty patrollers. His crafting tool and all sorts. So he looks pretty good to start with. Next up, then we have the Black Power Ranger. I think that's a good one for the comments. Leave your favourite Power Ranger in the comments below. So which was your favourite of the original team? For me, it was the Red Ranger. But here we have the Black Ranger. You've got both head sculpt there for the different actors that have played him over the years of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You've got a sort of battle axe, all the blasters, and lots of stuff going on. But again, in the package, looking pretty nice. We move on then to fans of the Blue Ranger. So as you can see, probably a little bit of reflection coming off the packaging there. But we've got the glasses head sculpt and the without glasses head sculpt. Again, Super 7 not known particularly, especially from Wave 1, for their head sculpts in this range. They do seem to improve by the time we've got here to Wave 3, though. These are looking a bit better, I think, than some of the earlier waves. So as you can see, there is the Blue Ranger and a ton of accessories, as ever, from the Super 7 Ultimates line. Right, we move on to Lord Zedd, and what's happened to his skin, ladies and gentlemen? It seems to have been removed. So Lord Zedd in all his muscle-bound glory there. How did they get away with this design as a kid? What a freaky design. Do like the look of Lord Zedd. You've got his alternate head there, which just literally has a different shade of red in the visor. You've got his Lord Zedd staff, and you've got a giant snake. So he does look quite intimidating in the package. I'm looking forward to getting this one unboxed. And I do still have the Lord Zedd from the Lightning collection, so we will do a bit of a comparison. Now, I did go completely all in on the set, so I have got Lord Zedd's throne. Not quite sure this one justifies the sort of £40–50 price point on it, but it is nice to have that accessory in the line. Paint apps look nice enough, but that is a chair in a box, which is a very unusual thing to see, really. So Lord Zedd's separate accessory would have been nice to have it together, but I suppose those of you that didn't want it, you could just pass on this one, but this idiot has gone all in. All right, and I think we have saved the best for last, because this does look epic. This is the Megazord himself. You get one of the giant metal Ranger coins there. You get the pink and yellow Ranger in mini form. I still think we're missing the blue and black Ranger in mini form, so let's find out if we unbox and they're in their packaging, because they're not. I wonder where they're coming from. So you get his giant sword and everything there. It just literally looks what it's supposed to look like, a man in a suit. So I really am looking forward to getting this Megazord out. The first one I've had since about 1994, probably the last time I owned a Megazord. Right then, Finster is out, and we will start with him. And as I said, this isn't going to be a full review. I'm just going to give you a sort of quick overview of each figure, as the main point of this video is building that collection. So, of course, you get all the hands and everything. I've taken out a few of the accessories that are more interesting. I love that King Spinks putty. That looks fantastic. It literally does, just like mini putty, and it actually stands up, to my surprise. And the same with that pudgy pig. So even the Lightning collection collectors, I think, might want this one just for the accessories there. So you've got the sculpting tool and his magnifying glass. And there is a closer look at the Finster figure himself. So of course, cloth goods is the main attraction. I'd say to this one is the cloth goods undershirt and trousers that he has on. So it is a sculpted apron. Now I thought originally when it's listed, I might be wrong, it was going to be a soft goods apron and sculpted underneath, but it is the other way around. And actually, it does look pretty good. So some great detailing on the head sculpt there. If I can focus in on the head sculpt, you might get a bit of a blue hue to like, because I am here in the toy room. So you've got his wrap around his head. It's nice, little glasses and everything. And you've even got the green tips painted on the end of the hand there, the sort of leaves that he's made up of on. So a very weird sort of character design overall, but he's looking pretty good. Now this one we can do the comparison to, because I still have the Lightning collection Finster. So he has a wonky ear, and this will give you a good look really at the scale. So if you are thinking of mixing maybe some of these characters into the Lightning collection, because of course with Bulk and Skull coming from Super 7 and the fact that the Lightning collection is no more, will those characters mix? Well, as you can see, the scale is completely different in Super 7's 7-inch scale there, but it may work potentially, I'd say, for the monster-like characters. And this shot, I think, would give you another sense of scale if you are looking to mix these lines. So on the left, next to the Super 7 Finster, is the Lightning Collection Yellow Ranger, and then the Super 7 Yellow Ranger on the other side. So you can see the two differences in the scale. So again, as a monster-like character, the Super 7 one could be quite imposing with your Hasbro figures. But then again, I don't think your Super 7 Rangers and your Hasbro figure there go at all in terms of the scale disparity. So that is a bit of an in-depth look at Finster, just so you can get those sort of size comparisons in. Right then, so we move on to my second favourite Power Ranger growing up. It was the Blue Ranger. And ladies and gentlemen, what a shiny helmet. How else can I phrase that? But they've got some very shiny paint apps on this figure. Now, Super 7, I've pulled out of a lot of their lines recently, but Power Rangers is one I've stuck with. And so far, I am quite glad I have, because these are looking very nice indeed. So there is the Blue Ranger. So we will get the full Super 17 complete in this video, but there is a Super 7 yellow for a size comparison, and the Hasbro Lightning Collection Yellow Ranger, of course, for a size comparison as well. Right, now I've got all the Blue Rangers accessories down here on the floor, and the first thing I noticed with these head sculpt is they're now using the photo printing technology. So the first couple of ways were painted and didn't look as good, but now they're using the photo printing. The accessories are coming out much cleaner, I think. So that is the spread you get with the Blue Ranger. So you've got your glasses head sculpt, your non-glasses head sculpt, all sorts of versions of his weapons there. I think the one you can combine, you've got the sort of small versions, the big versions, the original toy versions, 3 blasters and hands for days. So you do get a bucket ton of stuff with the Blue Ranger. And the good thing about those head sculpts is, with Bulk and Skull coming, they're actually going to be using that type of head sculpt technology. Hopefully, we should get some good likenesses on those. Right then, it's the Black Ranger, and again, very shiny helmet, second time in this video, and looking really good. I do think these look really clean, these Super 7 figures. Of course, they are less articulated, you're going to get nowhere near the articulation you would do out the Lightning Collection version, but I think the paint apps are much better on these, so overall, very satisfied, I think, with this one. Random size comparison again. So here is the Blue Ranger from Super 7, and there is Rita from the Lightning Collection. So again, the Rangers are much taller than the Lightning Collection figures. And down for your accessory spread again then. So again, a load of stuff. You do get the golden sort of dragon shield there, and the gold armbands, because of course it was worn at one point by the Black Ranger. You've also got the Morphin. Again, a selection of blasters, his axe weapon, his toy version of the axe weapon, and the thing on the top left, I have not got an absolute Scooby what that is supposed to be. Right then, we're going to get to Lord Zedd. We'll start with his accessories this time. As you can see, loads of hands, pointy finger handler kind of like, alternate head with just a lighter red tone, very big snake. You've got his little 3 bomb things, and then his shiny staff. When it comes to the staff, it is shiny, but it's not vac metal. It is just a shiny plastic. And I have put the Hasbro version next to it as I pan right out there to get the Hasbro one in shot. So it is much bigger than the Lightning Collection version. Right then, here is Lord Zedd himself in all his gory glory. Now look at him there. Fantastic looking figure. So all the piping is done really well. Sort of a translucent piping there, plastic piping, but with a sort of a blue tone running through it. All his muscular detail is done. If I can come in there, you should be able to see it's like a white sort of tone over the muscles, where it's more of a black tone in the Hasbro figure. Again, shiny plastic, not vac metal or anything, but it does look really good. All of his brains and all of his details. So I think this could be the size comparison people want to see. Let's get the Lightning Collection version in here. So there they are side by side, and you can see the size difference is absolutely ginormous here. The Super 7 one is much bigger, so if you were going to put that in your Lightning Collection, I think you would get a sort of more intimidating looking Lord Zedd. Different skin tones they've gone for rather than the black wash, as opposed to the sort of more whitewash on the Super 7 one. The piping, I think, looks better on the Super 7 version, much more exaggerated piping there. And again, we have got paint on the shiny metal. This is the version from the 2-pack with Arita Repulsor from Lord Zedd there from the Lightning Collection. And once again, let's bring back the Yellow Ranger. So Super 7 Lord Zedd is by the Hasbro version, and Hasbro Lord Zedd is by the Super 7 versions. You can get a real sort of sense of the scale between them. So I'm going to get the throne out in a second. We're going to see if we can get Lord Zedd sat down, and we'll see what the Lightning Collection one also looks like on the throne. Right, so there is the throne. It's nice to have a sort of big chair accessory. So you've got the Lord Zedd on the back, and then you've got nice sort of detailing there in terms of the cracked look on the rock, and it does have a sort of black wash over it. So it's a fairly decent size as well. It is hollow, but it does have a little bit of weight to it. There is your side view then of the throne itself. Again, very simple, but should be effective, I think. And then finally, before we get Lord Zedd on there, there is the front of the throne. We do have sort of red eye detail on the sort of creatures there that sit on the front, and a lot of sculpted detail on the throne itself. Well, he looks pleased with himself, doesn't he? So there's a Lord Zedd. Well, he looks pleased with himself, doesn't he? So there is Lord Zedd sitting atop his throne. And I must say, that was very easy to get him down into the throne. So you can tell they sort of did the leg articulation slightly differently. The sort of hips are sculpted lower down to give them that range as you bring them up. So he does sit down pretty easily in his throne and does look very effective, I think. Sat there having the time of his life. Right then, Super 7 Lord Zedd is out, and Hasbro Lightning Collection Lord Zedd is in, and that works perfectly, doesn't it, really? Okay, he's slightly smaller, but I think he looks fantastic in the throne. So if you are only in on the Lightning Collection and you do want to spend some money on the throne, I think this is definitely an option. I think that would look really, really good. So that is Lord Zedd from the Lightning Collection in the Super 7 throne. So let's get the Megazord open, and then it's on to the main event, getting all these toys and building a display. Right then, on to the mighty Morphin Megazord. So you do get one big sword, and of course his shield there as well from the sort of woolly mammoth. And you do get the pink and the yellow mini sort of scale ones. And as we scale up there, you can see there he is looking very, very good indeed. So this is nostalgia. This is sort of childhood Megazord. Remember that Christmas, I think, of '93 when these things were sold out everywhere in the UK. If you've got any memories of Power Rangers from childhood, let me know in the comments below. Trying to get this thing as a kid, I know it's very difficult, but I did have one. So this is the first time in nearly 30 years that I think I've actually had one in my hand. So it's pretty cool. So he does look fantastic. Very nice shiny paint apps on him. Looks really keen. Articulation's going to be terrible. If you have any of these Super 7 Transformer figures, they barely move, and this fella won't either. But where I'm going to put him, I think he's going to be a centerpiece of the collection. So that is the Megazord. I'll just put some figures in for scale. And for the final time today, the Yellow Rangers have served as well. So the Hasbro now on the right and the Super 7 on the left. So as you can see, not really in scale. He's in scale with a tiny little figure on the bottom, but as a background piece in your display, I think he's going to work very, very well. So without further ado, let's build the ultimate Mighty Morphin Power Rangers collection. Right then, let me take you sort of in my thought process and what I'm trying to do here. So double deep shelf then, so two IKEA Kallax back to back. Now the background, just put a simple quick background in there, cutting out the back of the figures here from Super 7. And then I've laid down the base there, which is from the G.I. Joe Sky Striker HasLab. Again, I cut the packaging out just to give something that resembles kind of a row, because what we're going to have at the back is sort of the Megazords fighting with giant monsters, and then sort of the in-scale figures at the front. I've got a few of these buildings from HobbyLink Japan, which are 144th scale. So I made these little model kits up, and I'm going to use these to display, as you can see here, the mini Rangers. So let me get a few of these in place and just sort of set the scene, as you will. Right, again, I use the label at the front there just to label the shelf from the packaging. And that is the scene set then. So the dioramas are in place. Let's get the Megazords in. Right then, so the first two are in. I've started with the Tyrannosaurus Zord and King Sphinx. So I've got King Sphinx right at the back. Because of his wingspan, he kind of hides the joins in the cardboard just to cover up the background and just to sell my scene there. So if I get the camera down low, you should be able to see the sort of display I'm going for, a sort of like a Godzilla sort of a Gundam style sort of thing I'm trying here, trying to get a bit of a sort of scale display going, so it looks like they are taking over the city like they did, of course, in the actual live action show itself. The Dragon Zord is in next, and so I'm never quite afraid to sort of do this on the fly as I go. So I've repositioned the building behind just so you can see it, because he's got quite the long tail there, taking up a lot of shelf space. But the Dragon Zord is in. So we've got Goldar, and then we've got the Megazord to come. Goldar is in next, and I've got him quite close to the building, like you would see him about to swing that sword and destroy the building. And I haven't got his wings on, I've got the smaller sort of closed wing adapters on. I've got him posed facing the Dragon Zord then, they're about to have a fight, which leaves the one gap over there for the Megazord. So it's a shame they've cancelled the Megazord from the next wave, because I could have done with all the characters I could get in this back display. And the Megazord is in. I've added his sword and his shield, and he looks epic. So that is the collection there. That is the back half of the display. The giant monsters and the Megazords. Hopefully that's coming through on camera for you there, so you can see what I'm going for. So a couple more characters here, Super 7, and we'll have quite a nice overall display. So that's the back half of the display. Now on to the front half. Right, and I've started with Lord Zedd, got his staff in his hand, and he does, as I said earlier, looks very pleased himself on his throne, overseeing everything behind him. So I do like to sort of put the accessories on the ground around the figures that they came with. So there's Zedd. I've tried to put him in the corner so he doesn't block anything behind him, because the throne is quite large. And Lord Zedd needs his bride, so Rita is in next. Now I can't find a hand that holds the staff. Just going to have to go lying on the floor for now until I can find it. But of course she does come with her really fancy telescope. Goldar's behind her there, so I think that gives a good bit of background. So Rita and Zedd together. Finster's in next then. He's got all his little putties behind him. He's got one in his hand, and he's having a nice time at the front then. And of course I've added a putty, cowboy hat and football jersey in the corner. So that's sort of that half of the display. We're just going to leave this half for the Rangers and a few more putties. Yellow is in next then. I thought she looked nice sort of next to the yellow leg on the Megazord, so she's gone at the back. And I've put Green Ranger front and centre then, because I think he goes with the green font of the Power Rangers logo there. And I've got some of the accessories from Goldar, all the coins and everything there at the front of the display. Right, Blue Ranger is now in. Again, I thought we would look nice next to the blue leg of the Megazord. So we've got blue and yellow, and black has come in here on the corner with this very weird accessory. Again, I have no idea what it is. So let's get some putties, and then of course my favourite Ranger, the Red Ranger. In all the excitement, I forgot the Pink Ranger. So there she is, the Pink Ranger is in. Again, she has come front and centre with Tommy at the front there. Got a cat, a bow and all the accessories. And then there's another putty in there, and I've changed his sort of fists up to the sort of weird shaped ball and spike, and then the standard putty there. So now it's time for the Red Ranger. My first Power Ranger toy as a kid, and the last one to complete the team here in 2024. Right, let's pan way back up then for the shot. And there it is, everybody. Power Rangers from Super 7, the Ultimates, and the Ultimate Power Rangers display. Yeah, I like this. This has made me quite happy. I've been waiting many years, as I said, since I sold the Lightning collection, when I thought the paint apps just looked much better on the Super 7 figures. So it's been a long wait, but we are there. So, of course, the White Ranger to come in Series 4, and then I think Series 5 has Bulk and Skull in. So if I bring the camera over the top, you can get a nice view of what we've got going on. So the Megazords and the giant monsters at the back, and then the regular size figures here as we come round to the front of the display. So yeah, very pleased how this turned out. So please do let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Are you in on the Super 7? Are you in now? Are you mixing Super 7 and Lightning Collection? Or are you all Lightning Collection? Or of course, do you not like Power Rangers? We've made it this far into a Power Rangers video. I'm going to assume you like Power Rangers. I know nothing about the seasons after this, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came out when I was 6 or 7 years old. And it was great, great fun. Of course, the better half, Cheeky Monkey Kiara, she used to watch it too. She had no idea it was sort of a half Japanese footage spliced in with the American footage. So she was quite shocked when she found that out. But that is the collection then. So that is Super 7 Ultimates. So thank you for watching. Please do hit that like button. Like I say, leave your comments below. Notification bell. Subscribe if you could. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK. And that has been the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I will see you, of course, on the next video.